glad you're here.
What's happening, sir?
Uncle Sahanush sent for me. No doubt he wants to give me another ear-bashing about the error of my ways. And he said to bring you too.
What has it got to do with me?
Plenty. You're in it with me ever since that hunt.
All right, we should get going then, shouldn't we, Sir Hans? The sooner we get it over and done with, the better.
I suppose so. Right away. I put some of my old clothes in a trunk for you. I don't want you making me look bad in front of Hanush. But I see it wasn't necessary. You look as smart as any courtier.
Thanks. I'll try my best.
So I see. But you can come and get those clothes later anyway. They're a little worn, but they're as fine as anything you'll get in the county.
Well, my ward and his, what shall we say, chaperone.
Uncle.
My lord?
I hope we haven't dragged you away from anything too important.
Not at all, Uncle. We were just...
boozing and whoring, for instance.
Uncle, I can...
Perhaps you were busy, causing mayhem in the middle of the night and beating up my subjects.
No, it wasn't... Henry and I were just...
Henry's as big a fool as you are. But he's not my ward, thank Christ. What the hell do the pair of you think you're doing? There are people in this fiefdom who work from dawn to dusk to put food on their tables, and on yours, may I remind you. And then they look at you, Hans, their lord and master, and see a drunken layabout. That fellow you beat up last night was a guard, a new guard on the town watch. And he couldn't report for duty this morning because of his injuries. I had the bailiff here complaining, and could I tell him what I really think about this whole sorry affair? Of course not. That would demean me. And you too. So I had to sit gaping like a stuffed owl and listen to his grievances. Maybe you think because you're the lord here you can get away with anything. But you're sadly mistaken, you blockhead. A lord remains a lord only as long as he commands the loyalty of his subjects. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you the folk here are not exactly enchanted at the prospect of having you in charge. That was the last straw, Capon. One more of your escapades and I'll send you to your mother in Polnar. For all I care, she can dress you up like a wench and marry you off to some Hungarian.
Uncle, that arson Archibald tried to murder me. What was I to do?
Oh, don't exaggerate. Well, I'm hardly surprised after you molested his girl and humiliated him.
I was only...
Oh, don't whine, for heaven's
sorry.
sake. It's about time you started taking some responsibility. I have a job for you. Maybe that will keep you out of mischief. Sir Milota of Oleshna has turned up here. Do you know him?
Isn't he Sir Bernard's cousin?
He is. He came here with the remnants of his retinue to seek refuge. He's seriously wounded.
What happened to him, sir?
His fortress Oleshna was attacked by one Wulfrin of Camburg. Milota pursued him almost as far as Neuhof and engaged with him. Unfortunately, the skirmish didn't end well for Milota.
Wulflin of Camburg, that name is familiar.
He's kin to the Oleshna lords, too, a cousin of Bernard's and Milota's. Their family affairs are a little complicated. None of my business, of course. I just wish they'd found somewhere else to thrash out their differences.
What do you want us to do, sir?
Go and see Bernard in the courtyard. He got a report that Wulflin pillaged some other farms around Neuhof, and he's putting a squad together to ride against him. Mind your step, though. It's a family affair, after all. Maybe more to it than meets the eye. The important thing is to get that damn scavenger out of the domain. If possible, without bloodshed. I can't afford to lose any men over this business. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Very well, Uncle.
Get to work, then.
Greetings. What business have you?
So, what do you think about this?
Old Hanush is right about one thing. It's time to stop chasing wenches and start chasing bandits. It'll be a bit of excitement for a change.
Excitement? I don't know, Sir Hans. Men will die.
Don't be such a wench, Henry. What kind of a life would a knight have if he never crossed swords with a foe? What would he talk about at banquets, eh?
You're right.
Of course I am. Don't worry, everything will be all right. We'll ride there, hack those bastards to pieces, and celebrate with a good drink in the evening.
That sounds like a good plan. Let's get to it.
Good luck, then.
Sir Hanush sent me, Captain. I'm to join your mission. And Sir Hans, too.
And mount up, youngster, and we'll move out. Lord Capon, when we get there, I'd like you to hold back.
You can forget about that, Bernard. I'm not going on an outing. Hanush sent me to handle this matter, and handle it I will.
Undoubtedly, Sir Hans. I just meant for your own sake.
I know what you meant, Captain. Forget it.
Very well, Your Grace.
Listen, Bernard. About this robber. I heard some rumors.
About his being a relative of mine and Meloda's?
Something like that.
We have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna. Wolfen belongs to a distant branch of my family, which, well, let's just say they bring no honor to our name.
But I heard Wolfen of Camberg was hanged somewhere in Silesia after plundering the bishop's estates.
I heard the same, only, well, I'm sure you've heard what they say about the Camberg branch of my family.
That they're cursed. Now, Bernard, don't you think I'm a little old for fairy tales?
Think what you like, but I heard it from my grandfather, and he never paid attention to old wives' tales.
I meant no offence, Captain. You tell me all about it, then. After all, there's no smoke without fire, and I never heard about the Camberg clan from a member of the family.
Very well. At home, we always spoke in whispers about our Camberg relatives. Wolfen's father, Wilhelm, came to visit. I'm almost ashamed to say it.
You can rely on my discretion, Captain. Carry on.
Well, the servants were so afraid of him that they went and hid in the farm. Father had them whipped. Even then, they wouldn't go near Wilhelm. They were afraid he cursed them. I couldn't blame them.
Why's that?
For Wilhelm's face was so badly disfigured, folk would cross themselves when they saw him. I was afraid of him myself as a boy.
Was he wounded in war?
No, he was born that way. See, his mother, Countess Barbara of Hogwitz, didn't want to marry Wilhelm's father, my grandfather's brother. She never wanted to bear his children. So, she fell pregnant. They say she went to a witch to get rid of the child. Only she ended up having quintuplets. Can you imagine it? 5 babes born in one night?
Jesus Christ!
That's not all. 4 of them didn't live till dawn. Only the 5th survived. He was disfigured. Wilhelm, they say the witch cheated her, and instead of getting rid of the child, she put the devil's seed inside her.
Good Lord, how dreadful.
Well, Wilhelm carried that with him his whole life. When his own wife was in childbed, he had 7 friars kneeling in her chamber day and night. It didn't stop the rumors, though. When his son, Wolfen, was born, he looked normal enough. But he turned out to be as wild as a stray tomcat.
It seems he hasn't grown out of it.
You're right about that. A few years ago, Wolfen went off to Poland, and Wilhelm got worse and worse. Cursed everything and everyone in his path, started throwing crockery at the servants. He was on his deathbed. He sent for a priest, not just to give him the last rites, but because they were afraid the devil would come out of him and possess someone else.
God
Then
save
later,
you,
Wolfen
Henry.
turned up, even though he was supposed to be dead for years. There were folk who said he was dead. That wouldn't stop. Whoa!
Sweet
Slow down.
Jesus. It sounds a lot more convincing coming from you than
Light
the
us
stories my
some
nurses used to tell me.
I sent them
How
to
are we
scout
supposed
ahead.
to deal with
Those
a monster
bastards
like that?
will pay for this.
They most certainly will. Let's go. We have to make camp. Hamlin, we'll take 2 men and come back here later. I won't have Vitus and Cyril left as crow meat.
Yes, Captain.
Good day, Henry.
I'm glad to see you.
Tell me, Captain, how come this Wolfen is attacking his own kin?
They say blood's thicker than water, but sometimes I wonder. Look at our king and Sigismund.
So what's the cause of your conflict with Wolfen?
Nothing in particular, just that he's a ruffian, a treacherous bastard, and a bandit. No wonder the whole Camber clan is cursed.
How are you related?
Milota, Wolfen, and I have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna.
How do you mean cursed?
Like I said, Wolfen's grandfather married Countess Barbara of Hogwitz. She didn't want to bear his child and went to a witch to get rid of it. Only instead of getting rid of the unborn child, she ended up having 5.
What, all at the same time?
All in one night. But only one of them lived till morning. The youngest, Wilhelm. And his face was disfigured. They say the witch deceived the countess, and it was Satan himself who impregnated her.
And you believe that story?
Depends how you look at it. Wilhelm wasn't a bad man while he was in his right mind, but he was terrifying to look at. I still get shivers down my spine when I think of him. As for Wolfen, word came that he died in Silesia. Then, one day, he appeared from nowhere. There are folk who say death has no power over him.
What do we do now?
First, we have to find out where those Horsens are holed up. According to the reports, they raided a few farms around here. So someone should go to those places and find out what they can. You should do it, Henry. My men would probably just startle them.
All right, Captain. I'll do that. Where are the farms?
One is uphill from Neuhof, right by the woods. One here above the woods by the crossroads, directly north from our camp. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Captain Bernard sent me. It's about that attack.
Well, they came, took everything they could, and rode off again. I don't know what else I can tell you.
We're trying to catch up with that gang, so I need to hear every detail you can tell me.
What do you want to know?
How many of them were there?
2 or 3. I'm not sure. My head's still in a spin.
Which way did they go?
I don't know. I wasn't watching. My husband made me hide indoors, and I only saw them through the window.
So your husband was outside?
Yes, he tried to parley with them.
What did they take?
Not much. We haven't a pot to piss in, which I told them in no uncertain terms as soon as they came here.
So you're telling me they came here, you told them there was nothing worth taking, and they just rode off again, without further ado?
More or less.
But just a while ago, you told me you were indoors the whole time.
Yes, I was. Mostly.
So were you inside or outside? Did you talk to them or not?
Well, like I say, it was confusing. I don't remember much.
Let's get one or two things straight. I'm here under orders from Captain Bernard, and that robber baron who came here crippled his cousin and killed 2 of his men.
What's that got to do with me?
Just so you know, the captain is very keen to see justice done, and it would not be wise to obstruct him.
My God, what have I done to deserve this?
So, what really happened here?
First, promise me you'll get rid of them.
That's exactly what I'm here for.
They came a few days ago, took a pig and a sack of apples. We put up no resistance. I noticed one of them had an injured leg, so I offered to treat it for him.
That was very Christian of you, considering they came to rob you.
All I cared about was that they wouldn't kill us.
Go on. What happened then?
They rode off, and I prayed we'd seen the last of them. Only the same evening, they came back again. One of them had been wounded, and they wanted me to take a look at him. They gave me some coin and took me to their camp. And in the morning I came home again.
I understand. They threatened you.
They didn't exactly threaten me. They didn't have to. But if they get away from you, they'll come back and get revenge.
Don't worry. We'll take care of them. So you know where they're camped? I'd like you to lead me there.
I won't go to their camp, no. But I know of a place where you'll have a good view of it.
That'll do me.
God be with you. I'm not going any further. If they saw me, I'd be done for. The camp's not far away in this direction.
Thanks. And don't worry. I'll deal with those bastards.
I pray you do.
Looks like I found it. I'd better get back and report to Captain Bernard. I found that encampment.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Is it far?
Not really.
How many men did you see?
Around 10.
The same as us. Well, now we'll see if my cousin is really as tough as they say. Otherwise, he'll be swinging tonight from the Rattay ramparts.
Wouldn't it be better to parley with them, sir?
Parley with robbers? You must be out of your mind, lad.
I gave Sir Hanush my word I'd look out for his men, and I intend to keep it. So it's my duty to advise a parley.
You're going to advise me?
You're not seeing straight, Captain. No wonder, since Wolfland's your kin. Please, just grant me one thing. Let me go and parley. I'll find out more, and maybe we can settle everything without losing any men.
You want to parley? Listen, Henry, you can't rely on Wolfland to act honorably. There's every chance you won't come back.
Don't worry. I know it's a risky business, but have you got anyone better for the job?
No, I'm sorry to say I haven't. Wolfland's a conceited bastard. If he knows you come from me, he'll receive you just for a chance to tell me to go to hell. I'll give you a livery with my coat of arms, so it's clear you're my messenger. And you'll have to go unarmed.
Thank you, Captain. I'll do my best.
I hope so. And try and come back in one piece. I don't want to explain to Sir Radzig why I sent his favorite into a robber baron's camp unarmed. See you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you! What do you want?
I'm Captain Bernard's envoy. I'm here to parley.
Why should I trust you?
I'm unarmed. What harm can I do?
That's true. You are wearing Sir Bernard's colours. I suppose I should take you to Sir Wolfland. But if you try any tricks, you'll regret it. Understood?
You have my word.
What a shitty day. You're a good scrap to cheer me up.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved cousin, Sir Bernard of Oleshna. So, what exactly is your message?
I heard some interesting tales about you. They say your family is cursed.
Ha! So Bernard's been telling those stories again.
You're a good scrap to cheer
How my Oleshna cousins do love to gossip.
So your father didn't have...
What? A twisted mouth? Aye. Looked like it was run over by a wagon. And he was born with 4 siblings and none of them lived. True. But they always leave one thing out of that fairy tale.
What's that?
That my grandmother was one of 5 babes and her mother one of 4. That's how it goes in that family. And then that talk of the witch. Pah! My grandma couldn't wait to marry my grandfather and give him children.
Why do you want to hurt the lords of Oleshna?
That bastard Malotta stole villages that belonged to my father. I was in Poland when my father died, and Malotta convinced everyone I was dead too.
But you came back though, didn't you?
Aye, I came back. But Malotta bribed the priest to testify that my father made him a deathbed confession. That bastard swore my father told him he was possessed, and so was his son, me. So they think I rose from the dead and I'm a warlock. They won't hear my claim.
That's unfortunate. But surely the courts of the king wouldn't believe a story like that.
Maybe not. But the king's in captivity, and none of the nobles have time for courts. No one will hear my case, and by the time this turmoil is over, everyone will have forgotten no more about today.
We offer you safe conduct out of this domain if you leave everything you stole from Sir Hanish's subjects and pay 60 groschen in compensation.
That's a very generous offer. But tell me, why should I accept?
Because you don't know what you're up against.
Don't I?
Sir Hanish has a guest in Rattay. The royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Of course. What of him?
Sir Radzig's gathering forces in Rattay to march against the king's enemies. So I'm sure you understand that your family quarrel, or rather your way of settling it, is quite a nuisance to him.
Say no more. I heard Radzig was driven out of Skalitz, but I didn't know he was in Rattay.
So you'll leave?
I wouldn't want to go up against an old friend.
You know each other?
Indeed we do. Give him my regards, won't you? And when he marches against Sigismund by the grace of God, tell him to send word to me in Camberg. I'd hate to miss it. And now go back and tell that Oleshna Viper that we're moving out. But don't let him think he's frightened us off. It's out of respect for Sir Radzig.
I'll tell him. You're doing the right thing.
Run along, then.
I've just come back from Wolflin, Captain.
And in one piece, I see. That's something at least, but I doubt you achieved anything.
I talked them into moving out. Not only that, but they left all their loot and 60 groschen too, as compensation.
I can hardly believe it. That turned out a lot better than I expected. The coin is for Sir Hanush, I expect.
Naturally.
Well then, take the money and ride to Ratai. In the meantime, we'll break camp and make sure those bastards keep their part of the bargain.
Right, Captain. I'll be on my way.
And Henry, nice work. Goodbye.
Greetings. What business have you?
I went to parley with Wolflin.
So how did that go?
I convinced him to take his gang and leave.
Really? I knew you were no fool, but that's something else. You're a born diplomat, Henry.
I don't know about that.
Don't be so modest. We have to drink to this.
Sir Hans, I heard something about a tourney in Ratai.
Yes, Hanush has decided to revive the tourney at the upper castle. It's only a bit of entertainment for commoners. A few fellows on foot bashing each other with various weapons.
Oh, you don't seem like your usual cheerful self, sir. Anything wrong?
Yes, blast it. Hanush was on my back about what I'd do all day, so I told him I was busy dealing with very important knightly matters. I said I was training my future page in combat, initiating him into the art of swordsmanship and other battle skills.
I didn't know you had a page.
Well, that's just the thing. I don't. It was just something I made up on the spot to get him off my back. And it seems I was a bit too convincing. Now, Uncle wants my imaginary page to demonstrate what he's learnt in the tourney.
I can see how that could be a bit awkward.
That's putting it mildly. The old man is like a dog with a bone. He'll never let go. Unless... Yes, now I think of it. I'll tell Hanush I was training you. All you have to do is enter the tourney, batter the fuck out of all the other peasants, and everyone will be happy. Except for the losers, of course.
What, and I'm to become your page? I'm not sure if Sir Radzig will agree.
No, Radzig doesn't have to know anything about it. It's just a little charade for Uncle's benefit. Not that it's such a bad idea. Who knows, maybe one day.
Yeah, all right. I just hope it won't get me into trouble.
Everything will be just fine. You'll see.
Well, I suppose I can handle a few fellows one at a time. Oh, all right then.
Of course you can. That's the spirit. You have to put up some coin to enter, though. Naturally, I'll pay for that, so you don't go around calling me a pinch purse. Go and see the tournament master. You'll find him somewhere around the upper castle courtyard. He'll explain everything and sign you up. Run along now. And don't let me down, Henry. Remember, you have to demonstrate you've been trained by a master.
Your wish is my command.
Excellent. Afterwards, we'll drink to your glorious deeds. Take care.
Are you blind? For Christ's sake! There's people walking here.
God bless you.
I have news from the camp, Sir Hanush.
Speak.
I persuaded Captain Bernard to let me parley with Wolflin.
Bernard agreed. I'm surprised.
So was I. I promised Wolflin safe conduct out of your territory on condition he leave all the loot he took and pay 60 groschen in compensation.
Well done. It will take Bernard a while to get over his disappointment at not being able to get revenge. But the important thing is, we're rid of that troublemaker. I must say, Henry, after all that's happened recently, I'm glad something finally turned out well.
So am I, sir.
And I think you deserve to be rewarded for your efforts.
Thank you, sir.
See you later.
God be with you, lad.
I'd like to enroll in the big tournament.
You'll have to wait a few days.
Can I wait here?
By all means. You can stay here until the next tourney for low rent. You'll get bed and board.
Sounds good. I'll consider it. I'd like to take...
Certainly.
Here you are.
Good luck then.
Greetings.
I'd like to enroll...
All right.
Of course.
I'll write your name down. Henry, you said. And I need to know what weapon you choose.
Longsword. I reckon it's what I'm best at.
Good. Get yourself ready. You're next in line. See you later.
The first combatant will be Jake the Stake, a brewery hand from Ratai, who will measure his skills against Henry of Skalitz from the company of Czech Republic. Welcome, our warriors! The combatants have entered the arena and the first duel may commence. We will witness a duel with longswords.
You're going to cry now. Missed! Fucking hell! The combatant who emerges victorious from the first round is Henry of Skalitz. The second bout will surely be no less exciting. This one may decide the winner. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield.
He is hereby declared the victor in this round and shall proceed to the next round. The first combatant will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzik Kubla, who will measure his skills against Michal of Janovitz, spearman of the Lords of Sternberg. Let us wish the combatants luck. And this very first bout will afford plenty of entertainment. We will witness a duel with longswords.
Fucker!
Henry of Skalitz. And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. Our warriors will fight with hunting swords.
Giving up already? Jesus!
He shall proceed to the next. Meeting face to face in this round will be Bowman Richard from the garrison of Sir Divish of Tamburg, who will measure his skills against Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzik Kubla. Let us wish the combatants luck. And this very first bout will afford plenty of entertainment. We will witness a duel with longswords.
Bugger!
That's the end of the first round of combat, and the victor is Henry of Skalitz. Change weapons for the second bout. Our warriors will fight with hunting swords.
Goddamn!
And the second duel was won by Henry of Skalitz. Lords and ladies, good men and good wives, you have just witnessed the final duel in today's Ratai tourney, for which we all owe gratitude to Sir Hanush of Klapper. All glory to the victor, Henry of Skalitz, man-at-arms in the company of Sir Radzik Kobila. His prize will be given to him by our gracious Sir Hanush.
You put on a hell of a show, Henry. Here's your hard-earned reward.
Thank you, Sir Hanush.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
One ale over here, please.
Sir, I won the tourney.
I know! You beat them all black and blue! You're a true warrior, Henry. Really. Even I was amazed at your performance. And thank you, you saved me from Uncle's legendary wrath. Here, I have something for you. I had it made just for you. It's no more than a hero like you deserves.
It's very kind of you, sir. Thanks.
Coming!